Now we're on to wine number 3, which is the Coudoulet de Beaucastel 2018. This is a Côte de Rhône, which means it's coming from Southern Rhône. So like I did with the previous ones, a little bit of sort of background about the winery. It's about 1549. This winery was created by a Pierre Beaucastel, and obviously the winery still retains that name. And Pierre Beaucastel brought a property or vineyards in Châteauneuf-du-Pape, what we know as Châteauneuf-du-Pape in this day and age. Over time, it got sold and sold and sold. In the late 19th century, the previous owner suffered from phylloxera, which basically destroyed all the vines, and so they actually sold it at the beginning, pretty much the beginning of the 20th century, to a family called the Perrin family, and we're on to now the 5th generation of the Perrin family are making Châteauneuf-du-Pape, Beaucastel, and Coudoulet de Beaucastel. Some interesting or really interesting things is they were doing organic farming in the 1950s, and they actually moved into biodynamic farming in the 1970s, I think about 74 or 75. So a long time, way before anybody else is doing anything related to organic or biodynamic. I am not saying that they are fully biodynamic or fully organic. Majority of their practices in the vineyard are one or both of those, is really what we're talking about. Here's what we're looking at. So this is Côte de Rhône. Their bigger brother, which is the Châteauneuf-du-Pape, is a very famous appellation within the Côte de Rhône. It goes all the way back to when the Pope existed in Avignon. Hence the reason why it's called Châteauneuf-du-Pape. It means it's the new castle of the Pope, which is out here in this area. One of the things we talk about when we're looking at something like Beaucastel and their Côte de Rhône, Beaucastel owns about 170 hectares, about 100 of those are planted. And in the Châteauneuf-du-Pape territory, what is famous for Châteauneuf-du-Pape soils is its limestone, but on top of it you've got these big galette stones, which are these almost look like almost like baby footballs, is what you're looking at. And that gives it amazing structure and power and sort of ageability. The reason why I love the Coudoulet de Beaucastel, which is in the Côte de Rhône, is actually it is on the other side of the A7. Nobody needs to know that. Which is located just outside Châteauneuf-du-Pape. So the vineyards for Coudoulet de Beaucastel are just outside Châteauneuf-du-Pape, but intriguingly, those soils and those galettes are still on that particular vineyards. So you're getting this really good quality of soil, giving you good vines without paying a premium. So when we look at Châteauneuf-du-Pape Beaucastel, it's about $85. When you're looking at the Coudoulet de Beaucastel, it's about $30, 28, 29 bucks. That is expensive for a Côte de Rhône, but very cheap for a Châteauneuf-du-Pape sort of imitation, is what we're talking about. Also, when it comes to the grape varieties, for something like Châteauneuf-du-Pape, you can do 13 reds, and Beaucastel, Château Beaucastel does actually do all 13 in their blends. When it comes to the Coudoulet, you're basically doing 30% Grenache, 30% Mourvèdre, which is very, very unusual, and then 20 Cinsault and 20 Syrah. So you have a true Southern Rhône blend is what you're talking about, which makes it really interesting and exciting. So on the sort of the flavor profile aspect of the Coudoulet de Beaucastel, ultimately with that Grenache, you're getting these lovely sort of fruit, cherry, vibrancy flavors. With the Mourvèdre, you're getting more of an earthy characteristic. The Syrah is giving you a bit of weight, and the Carignan's just giving some more flavor and texture to it is really what we're talking about. So for me, this is an awesome sort of fall autumnal wine, nice and sort of rich, soft, jammy, rich, soft tannins, good fruit. There's a nice freshness to it, so there's a good balance of acidity. So ultimately, you're looking at great for food pairings, great for cheeses, those type of things. Final point, why do I love Beaucastel and Coudoulet de Beaucastel? I've been selling these wines, Coudoulet de Beaucastel and Châteauneuf-du-Pape Beaucastel, for the last 30 odd years. They've always been at the forefront of quality. They've always been one of the benchmarks. Château de Beaucastel is probably one of the top best 5 Châteauneuf-du-Pape sold. And this being their little baby sister or brother, whichever one you want to call it, is just amazing value for the quality that you're getting, is why I would pick this one. So hopefully you'll see the pleasure I get out of Coudoulet de Beaucastel and enjoy it as much as I do.